This is the 42nd commencement, and the person who has been president for 39 of them will speak next. It gives me great pleasure to introduce President of the School of Visual Arts, David Rhodes.
Seems like too long a time. Members of the board, honored guests, faculty, administration, parents, families, and most of all, soon-to-be graduates, I'd like to welcome you to SVA's 42nd formal commencement exercises held in the honor of the class of 2017. Over the last 2 weeks, I've had the privilege of attending open studios, end-of-the-year shows, thesis presentations and defenses, and industry reviews of the work of the class of 2017. I think the work looks wonderful. And more importantly, those examining the work agree. You have acquitted yourselves with distinction. It would appear that your futures as artists, teachers, and writers should be bright. Congratulations. In the audience today, as you may have seen from the slideshow, there are soon-to-be graduates from 48 different sovereign nations. Artists from 48 lands who will now make their mark on their respective cultures. But in addition to being artists, teachers, and writers, all of you are also citizens. In fact, you are citizens first. Although most of us, most of the time, do not think of ourselves as citizens first. In the United States, at least, until recently, most of us thought of ourselves as citizens once every 4 years, and many of us thought not at all. Being a citizen carries with it a set of responsibilities, often unenumerated, that vary from country to country. Perhaps one of the most important of these responsibilities is to discover the truth about one's own country. And I use the word discover deliberately. Both governments and powerful private interests will sometimes try to obscure the truth, either by simply suppressing it or by describing it in ways that obscure its real meaning by using euphemisms. Recently, for example, forcibly dragging a passenger off an airplane was described as reaccommodating the passenger. Cell phone video accurately pictured what reaccommodating really looked like. From Plato to Machiavelli to Orwell, we have learned that when expedient, all governments will lie. As citizens, it's our responsibility to look behind the surface and expose the underlying truth. And it is here that your education as artists, teachers, and writers will reinforce your responsibility as citizens. You have the ability through images and words to make the truth more vivid and more compelling than the untruths you work to expose. If enough of you engage in this committed practice of revealing the truth, untruths will collapse of their own weight. This takes time and patience. Change is never smooth and continuous. Often, nothing appears to happen for a while, and then things suddenly change, and we hope for the better. But for some of you, this work is not without danger. There are regimes and powerful interests that do not want you to do what I am suggesting, and who will use every measure available to see that what you have discovered remains hidden. To those of you who are in such a position, I suggest you proceed with caution and realize that indirection, obliqueness, and humor are often the ways to begin. Autocrats do not have a sense of humor, and they often lack subtlety of mind. The purpose is not to unduly expose yourselves, but to undermine. In the end, you will all have to decide what risks are worthwhile. And in the end, you will all have to look in the mirror and decide whether or not you have done all you should have to acquit yourselves as citizens. It is my wish that that reflection that looks back at you will be happy with what you have done. Speaking on behalf of the faculty, the administration, and the board, we believe while at SVA you have honed your considerable talents and acquired the skills of critical thinking and examination, along with a healthy sense of skepticism. Equipped with this powerful set of tools, you'll have to decide how to use them wisely and well. It's our hope for you that you, and for many of us, you are a good reason for hope. And while you are doing good, remember to take joy in making the work you love. Kant surmised that virtue is its own reward because of the pleasure we get from doing the right thing. It's our wish that you experience and savor that pleasure. You have done well so far. Now it is time to do better. Again, congratulations. Thank you.